Welcome back to the Just Relating YouTube channel. My name is Sharon, and today we've got just a nugget for you. Here I'm with my colleague Carla, and we're talking about if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, I'm Carla, and if you want to subscribe to the Just Relating YouTube channel, just hit the bell and hit subscribe. Sharon, where do we want to go today?
Well, our tagline of if you don't know, now you know, I wondered if we could talk about the relationship, the power in the relationship between therapist and client, or therapist and supervisor. What do you think?
Awesome.
So here's my idea. I think that it's the therapist and or supervisor's responsibility to pay attention to the level of safety in the relationship. Any thoughts?
Absolutely. It is a therapist, it is a supervisor's responsibility solely to not just say safety, but create safety.
Mm,
How can someone in a power down position create safety when there's a power differential and if there are elements of dominance intersecting within that position of power?
mm. So here's my thought. Let's say that you and I are in a supervisor-supervisee relationship and you are the supervisor. And you have done some reading, taken some courses, got some friends, you've got some information
I
to
think
really, you think you're woke. So you've got some information that suggests how you show up might need to be altered. My thought as a supervisee is that I know how to operate in spaces where I'm in that one down position. I know how to mind my P's and Q's. But you're saying you want to invite safety, you want to invite vulnerability. What would you be doing or saying differently?
I say explicitly very early in the relationship that it's my job as a therapist or a supervisor to attune to you and not the other way around. I want to create safety so that if I hurt you, if I misspeak, please, I invite you, I implore you, tell me about that. I'd be honored to be able to repair with you.
Hmm, that's good. You know what comes up for me is where might those places occur? You know, where might that responsibility be unknowingly put to the test? And what comes up for me is the charge, the fee. Not to say that people in racialized or marginalized positions can't afford, but can we have a real conversation about money?
Mhm.
Can we have a real conversation about time? Can we have a real conversation about what it takes for me to carve out time to come to therapy or come to supervision, given what my goal is? How can I make sure that my supervisor or my therapist is actually valuing the things that could be barriers for me?
Mhm.
That's what comes up for me when you say that. That's your responsibility to create safety.
It is the responsibility of the person in the power up position to create safety, name,
Mm-hmm.
what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
create space to dialogue around it, and
Mm.
listen to what the person has to say. And
Yeah.
it creates that sort of like a jolt inside. We have to be sensitive and aware
Mm-hmm.
occurs and know that if that happens for me, I need to go inward for a moment, reflect, notice what's happening, and then I can respond in an attuned way. And I need to
Mm-hmm.
take that outside and figure out what the heck just happened to my own supervisor, to my own consultant, to my own therapist. That's
Right.
my responsibility.
Right. So I hear you saying that there's something in that responsibility about reflecting what's going on for you, for us, and also to be curious about what's going on for our client or supervisees. I also hear you saying that naming, that addressing directly is important. And then in all of that, that how we show up, the embodiment of that attunement, what's happening in our face, what's happening in our body, what's happening in our voice,
Mhm.
conveys that desire to repair and move on to greater connection, greater sensitivity, greater awareness.
Absolutely. If we and folks in positions of power do not create safety, we will aggress the other,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we will miss opportunities for deeper attunement that integrate more third order context. And we
Mhm.
will probably do all of this without even knowing it, because
Mhm.
most folks, as you shared, in power down positions have been learned how to not fully show up authentically. And
Yeah.
so that's either going to look like placating and pleasing, or else people just
Mhm.
kind of exit, and you never know why.
Yeah. Yeah, which seems like a terrible loss on both sides, that the person who is in that power down position doesn't have that sense of being really seen and heard, and the person in the power up position doesn't get the feedback that they need to change and show up differently in the relationship.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that's a nugget.